first frost has arrived.
Hello guys, welcome back. Since last video, we have ran about 40 acres more beans off. That puts us at right around 160 acres done, and that leaves us with about 180 left to go. Now you might remember last episode we leaving off with that truck being down. It is for sure needing a full engine rebuild. It's gonna run us around 10 grand. We're thinking 6,500 to 10 grand, depending on whether we do it ourselves or whether we hire it out. So we managed to find another truck for sale and bought it. It's that orange one sitting there. It's a 2011 Freightliner Cascadia. Emissions have been deleted, no DEF, no DPF. That's what we really were looking for. If we bought something else that still had it, we would be getting it deleted right after harvest was done, because that is a whole headache of a system that's really not worth it being on there for the amount of downtime that it would give us. It's still pulling our 30-ish, I think that trailer's 34 feet, hopper bottom, and eventually here we'll get that white one fixed. That one will go back on that jet, and we will get a nice aluminum hopper bottom to put behind that orange truck. But rides really nice, drives really nice. It's got a Detroit DD15 with an Eaton 10-speed transmission, so shifts just like the other one does, nice and easy. And it has got a really nice, really bulletproof motor in it. The DD15, from what I read, is one of the best engines in the country right now. So very good with that. Holds oil, that's a big plus for anybody who knows about the older Detroits. They like to give up their oil easily. One thing we found is there's a pinhole in the coolant reservoir. Not enough to affect it. I've ran it 3 days now and it's not been low, but it does leave a little bit of a puddle on the scales at the elevator, and they don't really like that too much. So that is supposed to be in today. I'll roll that in, replace that. The field that we are running in, or gave up in because it rained last night, driveway's narrow. We're gonna get the driveway out by the road widened out. We're gonna cut some limbs down along the lane to give us room to get the truck in, get the combine in, stuff like that, so we can keep our paint nice and shiny. Got the pole saw, got the chainsaw, pallet fork, bucket, grapple, skid steer. Let's head down there. Probably won't need the pallet forks in the regular bucket, but better to have them, not need them, than to go all the way down there and need them and not have them. This is the soybean field we're working on harvesting. There's about 23 acres done of 50, so just under halfway. I was running around, there's a few trees I saw down while I was in the combine, so I pushed those off. And the driveway's cleared now, so we can load up and head back. So now when we drive through here, we have virtually nothing straight up on either side or overhanging the lane for a reasonable height. So should be able to fit just about every piece of machinery we have down this lane now. Now we're down here where I widened it. I'm not gonna get full use out of this year. I will have to get some gravel down here. So everything, all the foreign objects are out of the way. Next, I'll just have to backfill gravel out. And out here, the culvert for the road ditch ends right there. So there's plenty of room. I just gotta get gravel in here to level all that off. But I can get the trailer swung in here now without having to worry about hitting that gate or gate post. Our wheat field is nice and green now. It's all up, just over an inch tall. We'll have to get that sprayed with herbicide here in the next, I I think I can get it the end of next week. It's supposed to be warm enough, and hopefully the ground will be dry enough to where I can float over it. Good morning, guys. This morning, before we run beans today, we're going to take a quick look at our new truck. I have a coolant reservoir for it. The one that's currently on it, we found has a nice little pinhole in it that it's not a bad leak. I was able to run it for a while and not have any coolant that I need to add, but yeah, now it's down, but it's been okay for a while. It's up under here, up under this ledge, so it's squirting down onto the fan shroud, running down that side and running down this side. Shouldn't be too bad. Should be able to have this on and off within an hour, I would think. Now I'm also expecting bin contractors to show up today to put on our new circular control, I think is what it's called, for our shivers system. And so they should be showing up anytime now. Also want to show off my new toolbox. I've been wanting to get my own bank of tools for a while. This went on sale at our local family farm and home. So I bought that, and then we went to Harbor Freight and I kitted out a bunch of my tools. Got common stuff up here and random stuff throughout. One thing that really sucks about Harbor Freight's socket selection is it's very incomplete. I'm gonna have to go and find these sockets somewhere else or go and find different sets. But this was by far the most expensive drawer. This was well over $100 in there, which may not sound like much for that socket, those amount of sockets, but Harbor Freight's still the cheapest place. Wrenches, screwdrivers, hammers, chisels, punches, pry bars, electrical supplies, pliers, channel locks, vice grips, drill bits, which these are pretty cheap. These Phillips drill bits are a one screw and done pretty much. Nothing in there. I got some miscellaneous stuff. My respirator for mixing spray chemical and cleaning out bins. And then this is something I picked up from our local parts store. This is a coolant system pressure tester and a radiator cap tester. So I got that because we were going to pressure test the Sterling to see where the water was coming into the oil at, but we're just gonna tear that thing apart and rebuild everything so that we don't have to worry about it. Got a new one on, gotta fill it up. Windshield wiper blades aren't very good on this truck. I'm gonna get a pair and then also get windshield wiper fluid for this. That way that windshield stays a little cleaner than it is. This is the old one. I haven't looked for the leak so hard. It's probably right on that seam somewhere. It only really leaked when it was really under pressure, so I'm guessing that seam probably has a bad spot in it, or there is some like spider webbing going on right there. So yeah, I'm sure it was getting brittle. This truck's been over the road before we bought it, so it's got a lot of miles on it. So the number one reason of why we bought this truck was under the hood. The DD15 was a highly rated motor, and as well as it being deleted, we know we won't have any emissions problems with this truck because the entire system is not operational. Everything's been taken care of. All the hardware is there, so you still pass roadside inspections and DOT inspections, but it's just not actually functional. Next thing, flat top sleeper. That is one of the most important things we look for in an ag truck, is not being higher or much higher than the trailer. I think this might be 6 inches taller than the trailer, but that's it. If you get those high-rise sleepers, it will get tore up quick because you have combine operators like myself or anybody in the grain cart who eventually will smack the auger into that sleeper. It will be inevitable. It's got 100-gallon fuel tanks on each side, tools, storage here, and then overall this is a fairly short truck. I think it might be one axle distance longer than our day cab over there. So all in all, maneuverability is not much different than that other one. Climb up inside. It's got a really nice interior. Everything is intact. I'll flip the dome light on, get a little more light in here. There, so 10-speed Eaton, DD15, like I said, really nice. Everything's ergonomic in here. It's got a CB, but it's not functional for some reason. We will be putting a two-way radio in here. It's got 608,000 miles on it, and it's got a whole list of repairs that was done to it. The guy, he had it over the road, and then he was planning on taking the driver out of it and going in himself, so he put it through the shop, replaced anything that was wrong with it. So when we got this truck, it was completely road ready, except for that surprise coolant leak, obviously. But he didn't know about that, we didn't know about that. You couldn't see it just test driving it because we didn't have a load. It wasn't pushing a lot of pounds through that system yet, but just easy thing to fix. With that, I gotta go get the head ready to go. Sun's out, beans are gonna be drying out here very quickly, so we're gonna back this truck out. And got the truck and the combine out here in the field. I'm gonna start going through this cutter bar, and let me just show you, this field is a cutter bar's nightmare. I don't know if you can see that. That is no longer straight, and some of that is guards being bent, but a lot of that is the main mounting bar that goes across here is bent. And from what I've been told, the drapers are built different and that bar is different, so the drapers don't bend like these ones do. But if it's really that bad, we may end up having to replace that bar next year. But yeah, I've got a knife section to replace here, which is the worst one to try and get to. And then there's a couple broken guards in the middle, and they've broke multiple times this year. This one and this one. So I'm thinking the hold downs have to be adjusted because it keeps breaking the tops off of it. And then I think that is all that's got to be done today. We're ready to combine now. Oh, goodness.
Gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy, and you really get paid cash back when you buy gas with the upside.
First dump. I got out, checked my grain sample. I've been messing with settings ever since I started. It's pretty decent. There's some pods that aren't threshed, but I can't seem to get them all to thresh, so there's probably just some pods that are still a little damp, but overall the grain tank sample does look really good. I will get out on my next round, make sure I'm not throwing anything out the back, so then I'll know whether I need to back my fan off or not. Doing good, says 56 bushel the acre, 14.6% moisture. It's a little high, but all I've done is headlands so far. I opened up the rest of the field, so the rest of it should be drier. And yeah, gonna keep on moving. Dad's running. We got from there over down to where that corn is, or what little corn is over there. That's our organic. I'm gonna hop in the truck now, take the truck in, and we will keep on moving. We got our shipment of rye seed in a little bit ago, cereal rye, so that is ready to go. I'll dump that in the seed tender. And this field is going to get 50 pounds to the acre of rye put on it. This is prepping it for no-till beans on beans next year. This is, or can be, a wetter field, so that's why I'm putting rye on. And I've experimented with clover on some of our beans on beans for next year, flying it on with the drone. But we'll leave this as just rye, so we got this field that's just rye going into beans on beans, and then I have about 32 acres of clover that's going into beans on beans, or should be clover. It should be up by now. Our new dryer panel is being put in as we speak. I am going to stop at the farm on the way in through to check and see if the electrician's there yet to
coordinate, find out what we need for materials, kind of show our plan and get that ball rolling as well. So hopefully by the time the dryer panel's completely installed, the electrical's close to being done, and we can start running corn. We've got 2 loads into the elevator so far. They closed at 7. It is probably 6:45 right now, so I can't make it back in time, and we don't have a load waiting. So I'm gonna hop in the grain cart. We're combining across the road all the way in the back of a section, so I'm gonna be carting from there all the way up to this truck on this side of the road until this truck's full. Should be about a half truck in the cart, so it should only be like one more cart run across the road, and then after that we'll fill the cart, fill the semi, so that I have 2 loads to take in right away in the morning, and then I will probably get started drilling rye on this field right away tomorrow as well, right after I get these loads in. The field that he is in right now is one of our no-till fields, and it turned out quite well from looking at it. We'll see what the yield monitor actually says, but I think it is one of our best bean fields at the moment. It was supposed to be planted into rye. Well, the rye didn't come up for some reason, or it came up really spotty. But we did get a good stand of wild vetch that just came up on its own. So we planted into that, and then I terminated. I actually used Liberty and Roundup just in case there was some weeds mixed in there, and we got a good kill on that. I think I ringed the field again after that just because the headlands were dirty. But other than that, it is a cheap herbicide field, so hopefully a little more return on investment with the same yield as everything else. Well, the camera hasn't been on for quite a while. Here is a quick 30-second update on what's gone on in the last week. We got this 20-acre field done behind me. We also got this field harvested, which is 24 acres and part of our no-till trial. This 50 acres was harvested as well as drilled to rye. And the final 2 fields we harvested, this one 15 acres, this one 11 acres. Both no-till into rye scenarios. This one I think did about upper 40s, and this one I'm not sure. I think about the same, but I gotta check my yield monitor on that. Now that you know what we've done, this is our last field. This is 27 acres. That blue is all that we have left, and that's about 1.5 acres. So we're gonna go and run and knock that out. This field is a mess when it comes to boundaries. Look at that. Last year when it was corn, it took me 3 hours to open this field up, get all the headlands off. It's a lot of work for a smaller amount of acres. Right here we got this that was hay, and that got turned over last fall. And then this is no-till. This is a no-tilled acre that we put in this spring. That was planted April 27th, along with this and the field up top. And then this back stuff was our last planted field, I think May 9th. Sunk a little bit on that last pass. There's some standing water in those sprayer ruts. I knew it was soft. I want those beans. They're worth $12.30 right now. This is one of the wettest parts of this field. Sometimes it doesn't get planted at all. We got lucky and we did mud it in this spring. I'm hoping with no-till, I may come down here and drill rye in this low area, because this doesn't have clover on it, and I can't find clover on the rest of the field either. But I'm hoping with no-till this will become more farmable more often in the future. And with that, our farm's 2023 soybean crop is in the books. Cart's full. I'm gonna bring it up, dump it in the truck, take the truck in. Now we start our custom harvesting. We have about 75 acres and it's right down the road here, so hopefully we get started today. Today is Thursday. We got weather coming Saturday night. We can get it knocked out by then. Should be easily done. I would think after we get started today, we may even finish tomorrow, but we may have a little bit to do on Saturday. But anyway, with that, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you at corn harvest.